We're joined at this moment by by Yogendra Yadav of the Swaraj Aviyan, and someone who's been close to the Congress during the Bharat Jodo and someone who understands politics well, got 2024 Lok Sabha bang on, but didn't get his home state of Haryana right, and Salman Soz. But to you, Yogendra Yadav, we were on this program, Rahul and I, with you, 4 or 5 months ago, where you got 2024 Lok Sabha spot on when everyone else got it wrong. This time you've got Haryana wrong, along with everyone else. What went wrong?
I don't know, Rajdeep. Honestly, I'm completely stumped. As you know, in the morning when we were discussing on this very show, even by that time, even when early trends started coming, I was reasonably confident that it's going to be Congress victory, although I had clearly opted out of the election forecasting game. But for more than a month, I've been saying it's a foregone conclusion, Congress is ahead, it's only a question of the margin of Congress's victory. So I really don't know. Elections and democracy teaches us humility, not just to the netas, but also to those who observe and write about it. So yes, it's a lesson in humility. All I can say is that what I said was not out of thin air. Look, in Haryana, Congress, BJP always does worse in assembly elections as compared to the Lok Sabha elections. This happened in 2014, it happened in 2019. Expectation was that the same would happen this time, and if it happened, BJP would be out and Congress would clearly win. It was also backed by field experience. I travelled, so did you. I'm sure Rahul must have also travelled. And I came back with an absolutely distinct sense from the field that it's Congress, that BJP is out. And I honestly do not know of any observer, you may know some, but not even those who are sympathetic to the BJP, who said after travelling in Haryana that BJP is ahead, that BJP may form the government. This was, of course, endorsed by exit polls, because I can't think of a single exit poll which even in its minimum projections for the Congress said it could get less than 45 seats. So all I said was not in thin air. But clearly this was wrong.
You're right, it did come out of thin air, but what could have gone wrong? Because when I look at vote share, both the parties are identical vote share, around 39%, but the BJP with 39% is actually up compared to 2019 in vote share and also in seats. Congress up by 11% vote share, but up in seats by just 6. Was it psephology, the arithmetic of an election in Haryana? Was it that split in the smaller parties, independents, or the consolidation of the non-Jat vote while the Congress was perceived as a Jat-driven party?
Rajdeep, the fact that Congress has the same vote share as the BJP is a very small consolation for the Congress. This can happen in elections, that you get equal share of votes, but one party gets substantially more seats. So there's nothing very, very unusual about it and nothing to complain about. This can happen. This has happened to the Congress. The expectation that all of us had was that Congress would be ahead by at least 5 percentage points. Clearly, that did not happen. Two possible ways of looking at it. First, of course, we should begin by assuming that we were wrong. Everyone went there and got it wrong. Well, so what? Improve your understanding. It's counterintuitive. Well, change your intuition. Improve your intuition. I've been trying to do that since the morning. And the one thing that strikes me is possibly this. Could it be that the undercurrent which we failed to capture related to the Jat versus non-Jat question? Could it be, this is something we have known, it wasn't a top secret, we knew about it, but I thought this is not going to play out for the third time. On the ground, I did not see intensity at all of this question. But the BJP has been stoking Jat versus non-Jat question. Very obviously, they've been doing so. And it could well be a repeat of what happened in Uttar Pradesh in 2022. Kisan Andolan had happened, Samajwadi Party appeared to be ahead. But the BJP successfully managed to give this message. If Samajwadi Party comes back, it will be a rule of Yadavs, and you know what would happen and so on. And that stuck till 2024 when Akhilesh Yadav went out of his way to remove this. That stuck to him. Could it be that something similar may have happened in Haryana?
Could it also be, Yogendra ji, just plain hubris and overconfidence on the part of the Congress?
Narrative.
Because Congress and its entire echo chamber seemed so convinced that they were winning that they didn't even examine for a moment what happened in Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh under similar circumstances in Chhattisgarh, where the Congress was convinced they were winning in a tactical head-on-head fight with the BJP. Ultimately, they ended up losing. So hubris and overconfidence, you think, had a role to play in this spectacular Congress defeat?
Well, if there was echo chamber, I must confess I was part of that because I also believed it. So I cannot now step out and say, well, they did not know. I mean, the fact is no one had this sense. If there was hubris, you have to say, because of hubris, they took these 1, 2, 3 wrong steps. That's what we need to get into. But I must mention something else because I would be failing in my duty if I did not, and therefore I wanted to say all this before that. This evening, Congress party has held a press conference and has said something serious which neither Congress nor the BJP has ever said. They said they do not accept these results. Now, that's a very serious thing. They have come up with evidence. I have reviewed that evidence in the case of one constituency, Narnaul in Mahendragarh. The allegation is specifically this, that there were EVMs which, when opened, had 99% charge, which should not be the case. And the allegation, and that's something that I have looked at, is that in those booths where the EVM had 99% unusual charge, that is where Congress's vote difference with BJP is much higher. That is to say, those booths have somewhat counterintuitively gone against the Congress. So that's one constituency. Congress in its press conference has said that they have many such things from Panipat and from Hisar. They have promised that by tomorrow they would bring this evidence. I would also, while not at all taking away from our responsibility, from our mistakes and wanting to improve it, I would also wait for that evidence from Congress. The duty is on Congress to bring it out, and the responsibility, the onus is also on the Election Commission of India to properly respond to it, not just
respond. But that sounds like a loser's lament, Yogendra ji.
Elections should be fair and should be seen to be fair.
Sir, when an EVM is sealed, you don't know what is inside that EVM. You don't know kiska vote hai, kahan se aaya. So that is very difficult. You can't, without opening the EVM, you don't know. So that just sounds like a loser's lament. When they had 99 seats in the Lok Sabha, nobody was cribbing about EVMs not being opened properly or the EC not doing his job. Just on the day the Congress loses, suddenly democracy is in danger, EVMs are being manipulated, and when they do well, then everything is hunky-dory. That's really not fair, sir.
Rahul, you are speaking to someone who has written an article 10 days ago saying EVM manipulation issue should be put to rest, that we should not make that into a central issue. Incidentally, what's being talked about today is not software manipulation of EVM. What they are talking about is, without saying so, is the possibility of replacement of EVM. Now, it's not easy to replace EVM because there are signatures involved, etc. So there is an onus on the Congress to put this evidence in public domain, and there is onus on the EC to explain it. Do remember, Rahul, that Congress has lost many elections, but Congress has not said what it has said in the press conference today, to my mind, earlier. So if a national party says it, I would take it seriously. I would wait for the evidence. I would not treat it as one more, because we talked about Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. I don't remember Congress saying what it has said today. So I would therefore wait for some evidence to come. And if there is an evidence, we should also look into that. All I'm saying is,
Yogendra Yadav, is until now, you too have always said, let's not be skeptical of EVMs. It cannot be that when we win, EVMs are okay. When we lose, we have a problem. You've always said that there is no evidence that EVMs have been fudged. Even in the Lok Sabha elections, when others were saying there could be question marks over EVMs, you disregarded it. You've not been an EVM skeptic. Are you telling me that this evidence you actually believe is making you an EVM skeptic suddenly?
No, Rajdeep. All I'm saying is, here is someone has come up with a concrete instance, and it's not about EVM tampering. It's not about that software tampering or any such thing. It's a slightly different, traditional, old-style issue. It's almost like changing the ballot box. It's that kind of an issue. Someone has come up with a concrete element. So here is an election which is where the outcome is very counterintuitive, not just for Congress supporters, for everyone. And then there is this allegation. The least it deserves is addressing it. I'm not yet saying Congress's allegations are correct. We should not believe it. The onus should be on the Congress to provide solid evidence. I have seen one constituency, and if what have been given by the candidate is correct, then it does raise question, because the difference in one set of booths and the other set of booths is almost, in one set of booths he trails by 12%, in the other set of booths he trails by 24%. Now that's a very serious difference.
Do you think not tying up with the Aam Aadmi Party for the Congress was a big mistake?
If these are verified, we should
because
check
there are
it
lots
out.
of tactical things that happened on the ground. The data intelligence
I
unit
don't
just
think,
put out a
Rahul,
visualization, sir. The Congress
don't-
lost 14 seats to the BJP in Haryana, where the defeat margin was less than the votes secured by the second runner-up party. 10 of these are independents, 3 INLD and 1 BSP. So there's lots that happened in terms of election management, engineering, ground offensive, which the BJP did better, which is also part of the reason why they're on top and the Congress is behind today.
I agree. I think this is an interesting possibility. We should see it. Someone said Congress rebels. I checked, and only in 2 places you have Congress rebels, Congress's official rebels, who have cost them an election. Aam Aadmi Party, I'm not sure if they have substantial vote share, which was transferable to the Congress. I don't think they had that. In the case of INLD and BSP, they are a serious contender. They have a substantial chunk of votes. But was there a possibility of an alliance with INLD and BSP? I'm not sure there was that possibility. So yes, certain things could be improved, and especially there would be questions about ticket distribution, because Congress repeated all its sitting MLAs. Someone needs to check. I've not been able to check. My sense was that many of these sitting MLAs had serious anti-incumbency against them. So that question, of course, would be asked. Questions would be asked about the overall tactics that adopted by Congress, and credit must be given to the BJP for taking some very smart and courageous decision. Bringing in Mr. Naib Singh Saini was a decision. When I was doing field work, everyone appreciated and said Saini is better than Khattar. But my assessment was that, and everyone also said, it's too late. Ab karne se kya fayda? Waise acha to hai. In retrospect, that looks like a smart decision. BJP
What
also
impact does
in ticket
Haryana have on
distribution took some
Maharashtra and
bold
Jharkhand in your
decisions.
view?
Not to renominate their MLAs.
Given that we have an election virtually days from
it
now,
will have an
what
impact
election
on
will
the
this,
morale.
what impact will this
I
verdict
said-
have?
Yeah. Look, if Congress had won today, I would have said it will not affect the voters of Maharashtra and Jharkhand, but it will affect the morale of the workers. The same holds now in the case of BJP victory. It may not directly translate to voter, but morale of the worker, political mood of the country, and momentum. That is a gain BJP has had, and therefore the task for the opposition is much tougher now. The ball now shifts to these 2 states, and the opposition has to win them, because if the opposition loses Maharashtra and Jharkhand, then of course BJP would be able to argue that, look, Lok Sabha election was a blip, back to BJP dominance. But should the BJP lose Jharkhand and Maharashtra, everyone would forget Haryana. That's where we stand.
But you agree, as we conclude, that the momentum now is firmly with the BJP, that what 5 months ago appeared the BJP looking shaky, the Modi factor is far more resilient, is what has been proven today, and therefore the next 6 weeks leading into Maharashtra and Jharkhand, the momentum is now squarely with the BJP, is more and more clear, is back with the BJP.
Not firmly, but for the time being. Certainly, we are in the middle of elections. One set of elections have happened, the other set of elections are about to happen. For the time being, yes, BJP has the momentum. No one can deny that, because the opposition would have had the momentum if they had won. And Jammu and Kashmir victory is not enough for you to neutralize the impact of Haryana's defeat. So yes, the momentum is with the BJP, but for the time being, because we are just entering the next set of elections, and in a sense, Maharashtra now more than any other state will decide. Rajdeep, your state.
It's even, Yogendra Yadav, you saw what happened in your home state of Haryana. I'm not going to predict anything anymore. I've been once bitten, Lok Sabha, twice bitten, now Haryana. I've decided I am 3 times shy. I will only watch what happens in Maharashtra and see the various ulat fairs and somersaults that now take place over the next 6 weeks. But you're right, Maharashtra now becomes more important than ever before. It will set the agenda at the end of 2024.
So agenda set ho gaya?
No, I don't think so.
Has set the agenda.
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I'll tell you why, Rahul. You know, this is the problem we have. We go, and I think I admit in all humility to be as guilty as anyone. I think we tend to make instant judgments. Haryana election, as we've seen with the vote shares, very, very close. One party has won. Big day for the BJP, no doubt about it. But I think the agenda for every election, Rahul, is very different.
Most certainly.
And therefore, because I think Maharashtra is so much more complex and complicated than a Haryana is, in many other ways.
But look at the fact
I think momentum is with the BJP.
But we've got Yogendra ji here. Yogendra ji was saying earlier, and with no disrespect to him, that, brand Modi is on a decline, that the opposition has the momentum, that this will signal the further decline. If Yogendra ji is still around, do you want to take back some of that? Because that panditry around, brand Modi being in decline, that it almost being certain that in 2029 the opposition would come to power, that these are the last 5 years of the Modi Sarkar. If after 2 terms of being in power in Haryana they can win despite all this anti-incumbency, then all that panditry about brand Modi and brand BJP being in decline really goes out of the window.
I'm here. May I respond, Rahul?
Yes, yes, please, Yogendra ji.
Yeah. I do believe that brand Modi is on decline. As you know and everyone knows, Mr. Modi had almost nothing to do with Haryana elections. The simple fact is, and that's a fact, it's not interpretation. Mr. Modi was not projected in the Haryana election at all. From BJP's own hoardings, he almost disappeared to a tiny corner with Naib Saini. He did not address meeting. BJP people themselves were very shy. And if we do a strict comparison now, from Lok Sabha election to Lok Sabha election, Mr. Modi managed to lose 30 points lead, while his compatriots in the BJP state unit have managed to retain and improve. I don't know how that becomes Mr. Modi's success. At the same time, it is true that because BJP has the momentum, because, as I said, Jammu and Kashmir's verdict cannot wash away Haryana's shock. So yes, the momentum is the BJP.
I'll tell you how, Yogendra ji, it's a victory for brand Modi and for the BJP.
That's very
because let's imagine, let me draw a cricketing analogy. Imagine you've got Sachin Tendulkar as captain of the Indian team, and Tendulkar is your most fearsome batsman. Suddenly at Sharjah Sandstorm, he helps you win, and he's the one carrying your team through. In the next match, he doesn't go out and do all the heavy lifting. The team does. The Sangathan, the Karyakarta, the ground management, the booth management, the Prana Pramukhs, they do their job. It is still brand Modi and the BJP which is at the helm, and you've got them being able to win without Prime Minister Modi having to do the heavy lifting. That's an even bigger victory for the Sangathan and for the BJP than to have one person carrying you to victory on his shoulders.
You are absolutely right. Taking your own metaphor forward, in the second match, if Sachin Tendulkar did not have to bat and the team wins, that would be a victory for Team India. That would be a victory for the organization. In the parallel, it will be a victory for the BJP party. BJP takes the credit. But I and you were trying to distinguish between brand BJP and brand Modi. I do not see how that logic improves Mr. Modi's performance for the time being. But as all of us might agree, the real test comes in Maharashtra and Jharkhand. Let's wait for that.
We'll wait for Maharashtra and Jharkhand, Yogendra Yadav. It will be another fascinating election. Good to have you on the show, and I appreciate your humility in accepting that you got it wrong. I accept my humility that as a reporter, I misread the mood on the ground, and that's the way it is. I think, the more humble we are, maybe we'll course correct and get better the next time. Thank you very much.
Will we see some humility from Salman Soz? Because Salman Soz, the Congress, is now with us, and he's been beating his chest, punching everyone, saying, we'll do this, we'll do that. And Salman Soz now, you won in Jammu and Kashmir, but that's largely thanks to the National Conference. And in Haryana, where the Congress was in a direct fight with the BJP, you've been bested in the Haryana dangle. You know, where do you think the script went so horribly wrong for the grand old party?
Well, first of all, let me congratulate our colleagues, our alliance partners, National Conference for such a fantastic result. Congratulations to Farooq Abdullah Sahab and Umar Abdullah Sahab for a wonderful victory. I wish the Congress party had done better in Jammu and Kashmir. We have not, but with our seats and the National Conference and some other partners in the India Alliance, we will form the government, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to the people of Jammu and Kashmir for supporting our alliance. As far as Haryana is concerned, our party has already made our stand very clear. We don't know. There are three or four districts where we think there are some problems that we bring into the attention of the Election Commission, and we will see what happens. Now, Rahul, if indeed these results stand after our complaints are assessed by the Election Commission, then of course we will congratulate the BJP and with all humility accept the verdict of the people and then understand what happened. But until our complaints are reviewed by the Election Commission, until that time, we have to be patient.
You know, but Salman shows, we are happy to be patient, but will there be any introspection? You see, the BJP seemingly introspected after the relatively, I won't say poor, but below expectations performance in a few states in the Lok Sabha. Haryana was one of them. They seem to have got their act together. Will the Congress also introspect? The introspection can't be surely only that, you know, were the EVMs fair to us? The introspection surely will be, did we present a collective leadership? Did we put all our eggs in one basket? Did we get our organizational issues badly wrong? Will there be that introspection, whether it's for Jammu or whether it's for Haryana?
Well, Rahul, sorry, Rajdeep, let me just focus on Jammu and Kashmir first, because as I said about Haryana, our party is going to complain is putting in its complaint and our evidence in front of the Election Commission. Let's see what the Election Commission says. As far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, of course, we must introspect. We will have to. We have no choice, because we as a party owe it to our workers, owe it to our supporters, owe it to the country to see why we have not done well, and we must have accountability. And I would be the first person to ask for accountability in our party in Jammu and Kashmir, and I will push for that. And I'm sure others will as well. I have no doubt that this is not, you know, an acceptable result as far as our own party's performance is concerned. But like I said, I'm grateful to the people for supporting the alliance overall. If you ask Umar Abdullah will be the first one to say that through this alliance with the Congress party, they were able to also convince everybody in Jammu and Kashmir that they stand totally opposed to the BJP and its politics, and that has in some ways helped the National Conference. But of course, our own performance has been disappointing, and we must take stock of what has happened, because that is what our workers and supporters deserve.
You know, because the question is, does the Congress have it in it to course correct? And that's the question I will leave, my final question to you. The feeling is the BJP, even today as a bigger party, is nimble enough to course correct. The Congress seems to lack something that prevents it from course correcting, and therefore you stumble from one defeat to another, just as we thought you were regaining ground in 2024 Lok Sabha.
Rajdeep, if we had not course corrected, how would we bounce back from some of the most difficult defeats that we faced in parliamentary election? We have course corrected. This is clear. This is a setback. Don't get me wrong. This is a setback in Jammu and Kashmir. It's a setback, and if these results hold in Haryana, of course, it's a setback. But I'm
okay. We are having a problem with your
really
audio.
Believe that we have turned the page. We have turned. Okay. We've turned a corner. The Congress party has turned the corner, and I think we are in. We have it. I think we can change. We can get stronger. I think Maharashtra and Jharkhand will have different results. I'm confident.
Okay. We'll wait and see. Maharashtra, Jharkhand becoming more and more important and significant. It's the final battle, because if the BJP Rahul wins both, thank you very much, Salman Soz. If the BJP wins both, and most observers there are saying Jharkhand is where the BJP has every chance to win. Maharashtra till this morning was seen as a state where the opposition had the edge. But everyone I speak to in Maharashtra this evening seems to say, up the momentum BJP ke paas hoga. In fact, there's talk.
No, but can I just say what 2024 and the Lok Sabha elections and this assembly election show is that Hawa doesn't matter. You know, what happens on TV or what is said on social media doesn't matter, because if that mattered, the Congress would not have won Haryana. So you win despite that.
No, so am I right, Amitabh, in saying that the BJP, what we are saying, that the BJP now goes in with momentum today. Maharashtra is what, 6 weeks from today at best. By the 15th of November, we'll be back here 5 to 6 weeks. So there's not even much time. Do you sense the BJP now has a clear momentum, or is it a very different state to Haryana?
No, it's a very different state to Haryana, but it has the momentum. See, it gives them the elbow to negotiate hard with the allies now. It weakens the bargaining power of Congress. It gives a message to its neutral voters, that is non-aligned voters, that BJP is still in contention. It's down and out, but it has come back strongly. And Brand Modi has reinvented himself, because if he is in power for 23 years as a CM or a Prime Minister, his ability to keeping on reinventing himself is what keeps him away from the pack. Or
that's a good word, and you can sense today in Mr. Modi's speech also that the mojo was back. He was back to taking on the Congress on very specific issues. And if he can sustain this over the next 1 month, which is leading up to Maharashtra, I think the BJP will believe that they can get Maharashtra in the bag. You agree with that, Rajat, that now the momentum has shifted?
Certainly, no doubt about it. But, this verdict can actually go both ways in Maharashtra. It actually sobers down Congress, because they have been the biggest stumbling block for finalization of seat distribution. And, they were trying to stampede through and, push their agenda through. But I think now, even within the Mahavikas Aghadi, there will be a lot of political entrepreneurs who would, lower their expectations and try and find some adjustments instead of going out and hurting the alliance. BJP, of course, with its solid momentum, will be able to push Shinde and Ajit Pawar into their rightful positions in the negotiation table. So this verdict, surprisingly, can actually fuel in good outcomes for both the UT as well as the Aghadi. So again, net, you just can't say. Maharashtra is just way too complex.
I'll tell you, there was an MVA
way
leader.
Too complex.
While most of the BJP leaders today in Maharashtra will believe the momentum is there, there's an MVA leader who's also told me he's secretly happy, because their biggest fear was if the Congress won big in Haryana, they would start dictating terms to them in the state. So it's strange how politics works. Many of the India allies also secretly, I think, are happy in a way that the Congress has been brought a peg down, because they want to negotiate better with the Congress. I think that's a bad tactic, personally, because
why is it a bad tactic?
As we saw with,
an overconfident, hubristic Congress for the allies is tougher to deal with.
That's what I'm saying. No, my point is, for example, in Haryana, the Samajwadi Party had wanted a couple of seats in the Ahirwal belt, where there's a large Yadav presence. Aam Aadmi Party wanted 2 to 3 seats, 3 or 4 seats. Congress rejected it because all the pollsters, strategists said, no, you're winning. Presumably that's the reason. They paid a price for it. Recall even Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath said no to an alliance with the Samajwadi Party. They paid a price for it. Where you tie up, or where you're a junior partner and willing to concede, the Congress seems to work better. Prime Minister hinted at it.
Yes.
If you recall, Prime Minister said, that the Congress expects...
So what song would Rahul Gandhi be singing today? He's not tweeted. An interesting thing is,
now, you see,
he hasn't posted anything.
My friend Rahul Kamal, when I retire, I will keep all these exchanges you and I have which get me into trouble. Rahul has a large following on Twitter who's waiting for Rahul to troll Rajdeep, but I will still sing you a song.
What's the song?
क्या से क्या हो गया तेरे प्यार में
किसके प्यार में
हरियाणा के प्यार में हरियाणा का प्यार में नहीं जलेबी के प्यार में हरियाणा के प्यार में क्या से no look this was a day unbelievable
what song would Modi ji be singing
I'm the best कोई हीरो यहाँ कोई जीरो यहाँ I'm the best Mr. Modi would love to sing that
वो सिकंदर ही दोस्तों कहलाता है हारी बाजी को जीतना जिसे आता है
अरे वाह see he's a better he understands his Hindi music better than I do you want to sing that song
no we have a montage which will sing that song out
okay
and that's true हारी बाजी को जीत कर
just think about it Rahul 9 a.m. Pawan Kheda with crackers behind him, with laddus behind him, 10 a.m., complete silence. It can only happen in this wonderful country called India. You know, that's what makes Indian elections so special.
And maybe abuse the media a little less.
Yeah, you know,
all kinds of...
and I know people have been taking off what I said at 9 a.m. and then 11 a.m. I will have to go by the numbers. You show me 64 seats, I have to explain why they're getting 64. They go down to 30, I have to find a new explanation for it. But I think all of us have to take a step back and perhaps try and be a little more patient, press the pause button, and realize that every Indian state is distinctive to the other. I am not going to touch any prediction on Maharashtra. All I'm going to say is that I look forward to a great election in my home state.
Oh, absolutely. So this is where we wrap up. Thank you very much for tuning in. Prime Minister Modi very clearly singing Hari Bazi ko jeetna hame aata hai. Haryana was done and dusted for a long time. They've been able to turn this election around in the last few days and weeks in what will be one of the most remarkable turnaround stories in the history of modern Indian politics. Thank you for tuning in on a fascinating day. Here's how we end.
Bye-bye.